Well, hello and welcome to a special In Conversation With, and we're in conversation with the MPA today. Sorry about starting a little late, we had a small technical at that beginning. So, if you want to get involved with today's debate, you can Twitter at @little_orchard, or you can email icw@littleorchardprods.co.uk, and obviously if you're on Facebook it's Little Orchard. If you're watching from a blog and you're having any issues, by all means use the Ustream click-through. That'll take you through to our channel, which is ICW1 on Ustream, or you can then join in and comment live, and we'll sort of take questions as we go along. So we have Mike Pearls and Simmons in from the MPA. So, guys, thank you very much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, Lewis.
Lovely. Tell me, what is the MPA set up to do, and what are your sort of plans for the next sort of 12 months going forward?
Okay. Mike, you're going to pick that up, shall I?
Mike?
I think, in terms of the MPA is a membership organisation. It's been going for over 90 years. It's Europe's largest publicity association. It's got a huge heritage, and there has been many people who've been involved in it over the years who've done significant things to take it forward and make it what it is today. It represents its members, its private sector, it has no public funding, it's apolitical, and it's there for the good of all. One of the major benefits of the MPA is that all of the profits, it's not for profit, all of the profits go to charity. The charity has traditionally been NABS, which is for the benefit of agencies. So all of the money it makes goes back into the industry to help those. I'll let Cindy pick up where we're going.
Because you've just taken over the sort of...
Yeah, I joined in July. Mike convinced me to take on this role as its first ever MD. I think the view was that in order to move forward now into this market that we're in, we need to have a true focus on what we were doing. Traditionally, as many people know, the MPA has been made up of media owners, media buyers in terms of the membership base, and clearly the market is so different now because we've got digital agencies, creative agencies, film, production. I mean, the whole host of talent that's in Manchester is enormous, so we're embracing everybody now rather than just the media channel.
Okay, that's an interesting phrase. Embracing or stepping on the toes off?
Embracing, I think, because I think they were very, we've been very open, honest, collaborative in terms of how we've repositioned the MPA, and we're actively seeking that collaboration.
I think it's important to make the point. This is by no means a land grab.
No.
It is there to look at everything that's in place, talk to the other organisations that are doing great work, the likes of Manchester Digital, the likes of Howdo, the likes of all of these organisations that are involved in our sector. Talk to them and say, okay, what are you doing? How can we help you do it? How can we help you promote it? Which is one thing. And whether there are gaps, then we're looking to plug it. And the gaps tend to exist in the unglamorous, uncommercial side, like the training side. You know, getting investment in training, getting some kind of benchmark on training. And really, that's where our focus is going to be, on developing, so that we can move the industry forward.
I was in the Vision and Media this morning, and there's, I think Vision and Media has done some amazing work on training for the creative sector, on freelancers and bringing people
fantastic,
and
Excuse me.
on the higher end of things in leadership development. So where do you guys see MPA fitting into that and then training?
It's very good timing that you kind of raise that, really, Lewis, because we've got a number of partners that we're developing initiatives with. One partner is Pinner, who we're about to embark on a lead programme with them in the new year. So we're looking to select 20-25 of our members who we can actually work with and put through that lead programme, which will be part funded. So that's a great initiative for us to go into the new year with. And secondly, we've got partnerships with the White Room, who will be working with us on a training and needs analysis initiative, again for members, to help them identify what training they want, what they need for their business, and it will vary, of course. And the third sort of strand to that is looking at, with the Eurocard partnership, a HR portal. Lots of our members are sub 5, aren't they? And they need help and support. So the HR portal that we're going to launch will give them all the documentation they need. It's like having their own HR department, but that'll be a free offer from the MPA. So huge benefits coming through now. We've spent the last few months rebuilding it and looking at added value and what we can put out to our members, and that's set to continue now, really.
Okay, so you're going to give a lot of free stuff away once you're a member. Well, that sort of gives me the feeling it's going to be quite expensive to sign up.
It's not really.
Well, what sort of
well, it depends on where you sit. I mean, if you're less than 10 in a business, it's £195 for the year.
The year?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, is it?
Not too bad. I was going to say, it's pretty good value. And then in terms of freelancers, it's just £10. And for plus 10 businesses, it's £39.50, I think. But for that, everybody in your organisation becomes a member.
Oh, right.
So like McCann's, for example, before that, they would have only 10 people allocated as a member. It's everybody is a member. So
we've got the likes of McCann's, BJL, all the big organisations that are coming in. They're paying £400, which is helping support everybody, but every single member of their organisation then can get access to the events that we can do, the HR portal, the training, the development, and all the rest.
Okay.
So it's a big offer. It's a big offer.
I was at one of your events. Last week or the week before?
Week before, first of all, World Class Series, yes, which was amazing.
The Loop, is that right?
Yes, relaunched the Loop, yes.
Tell me, for those people who haven't, sort of went to that, what's the Loop about? What's it set up to do? It's a re-envisioning of something that you've run before.
Can I take this?
Yeah, do, because I know you
okay.
can.
Because it's a bit of a hobby horse of mine, is that one of the objectives that we've got for the MPA is to help raise the vision of everybody within the industry, so that we stop competing against our neighbours and actually start competing globally and looking to do things world class, and together we can promote that and promote Manchester as a creative hub. Therefore, what the Loop has taken on is the idea of taking world class as a theme and bringing world class organisations or people who are doing world class work in front of the MPA audience. The one last week, I don't know what your view of it was, but ours was that it was jaw-dropping.
It was awesome. Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible. We had Andy Baker there from MoFilm. We had the guys from Saunders and McKinnon. And the work that they are doing was just incredible, absolutely incredible. And for those who didn't go, they should have been there. And for those who see the next one, get along and see it, because it really is breathtaking.
Okay, we've got a question in from Neil Ryder. If you want to ask a question live, please Twitter at @little_orchard. We pick those up. If you're on the Ustream channel right now, you can add your comment as we go along. You can discuss amongst yourselves, and we'll pull out some of those thoughts and notes as we go along. So, journalist Neil Ryder has never heard of the MPA. I know that he feels that other journalists don't know what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. What sort of, how would you engage journalists?
I think it's a great point, because I think the MPAs have been one of the best kept secrets in Manchester. I think all that we're doing, Mike, myself, our strategic board, is trying to raise that level. And I'd love to meet Neil Ryder, and we'll sit and talk about it, because when we go out and talk to people, they are really excited about what the MPA is about, and it's just getting the message out there. We're continually trying to push the message out. But anybody who wants to talk to us, just pick up the phone, speak to us, and we're happy to talk to them.
One thing I'd
do you have an email?
Yes,
give out?
it's cindy@mpa.org.uk.
Okay,
that's great. Thank you.
One thing I'll say to Neil is that we've just passed 1,000 members since we relaunched in September. We've gone up 150% in membership. So there are huge amounts of like-minded people for him to get together with, collaborate, innovate, find out what they're doing, and learn a bit more from.
Okay. Another question from Georgie Chris, or Geordie, sorry.
Oh,
Geordie Chris.
Hi, Chris. Chris Bridget.
What are we doing in social media?
MPA doing to help freelancers?
Freelancers, great point. Chris has been working with us very closely, actually, and been doing some great work helping us on social media. I think that for the first time ever, we've opened up membership to freelancers at the very low cost of £10. We've got a big initiative that will be launched in the new year, specifically aimed at freelancers. So I shan't go into the detail of that yet, but there will be a lot of activity specifically for that market, because we see it's absolutely crucially important.
And again, where do freelancers need to go in order to see that and hear about
If they visit the site, mpa.org.uk, if they go to the site, sign up. When they sign up for £10, they'll get communication from us. If they're not signed up, they won't get the communication. And thanks, Geordie Chris, because I know that you've got some great ideas for the freelance market, so great.
Okay. So we were talking earlier about, you guys sort of filling in between other organisations. So like Manchester's Digital Engage, the smaller market, encouraging digital people. There are filmmakers who go through Vision and Media. How are you going to bring all these quite different creatives together? What sort of game plan do you have for that?
I think it's quite simple in terms of how you bring organisations together, because it is offering benefit to each of the organisations, offering benefit to their members. Our vision is about convergence, it's about collaboration, it's about bringing the organisations and their members together and then getting them working together, because we can't exist in silos anymore. The market's not like that. So each of the silos has got to learn from the other ones. So what we want to do is give people who are working on digital over here exposure to what's going on in the advertising world over here and the filmmaking world over here, so that they learn more and everybody collaborates, and we can start. If we could get this community really working together, imagine what impact we can have. Imagine what resonance we can have on the world stage.
Absolutely. I think, sorry, Lewis, there's a couple of organisations I'm actually talking to, like Northern Soho, Sarah Cheel. I'm also I'm hoping to get a meeting with Sean Fence, and we keep missing each other's diaries, but that's both our faults. But we've got that meeting going to be taking place. I'm meeting with Sing tomorrow.
We're big fans of the social media
cafe. There's loads that we're having dialogue with, an open dialogue, because actually it is for the benefit of all of us. There's no point having any other agenda, because we're trying to do it for the good and greater good of Manchester, and that's what we're all trying to do.
Our strategic board includes the likes of Rachel Smith from Pro Manchester. We've got Enda Carey from Vision and Media on it. Together with Nicky Unsworth from BGL and NABS, and the media, Paul O'Halloran, and Tony Foggett from Code is a great conduit between Manchester Digital and the MPA, and he sits on our board. So we're doing our best to bring them together.
And how we've talked quite a lot about collaboration. Collaboration comes up in conversation quite a lot.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
And what's your take on what actually drives good quality collaboration?
Well, I'll give you my view on it. I mean, we've proven that collaboration can work from the sort of day I got involved back in July. We worked with MC2, we worked with Delineo, worked with Marcus Lee, copywriter, BJL, and that was a true collaborative group to actually get that repositioning and relaunch off in a very short window of time. We've got a PR collaboration group going on with Tangerine, Webber Shandwick, Made in Manchester, who's driving our PR routes for us. So it's just true collaboration in the sense of getting people to work together.
True collaboration is about everybody sharing the same vision and understanding that you're there for the good of all. And if there's shared interest, then you can get good collaboration going.
Absolutely. And I'm getting a creative group together now. So whoever wants to join me for breakfast on the 16th of December in a cafe in the Northern Quarter. Mark at Dinosaurs joining me, Lee from Delineo so far, John from MC2. I want some creators to come along and just have a conversation with us, because we've got some great initiatives to market, and there's some great projects there, but we need help. So breakfast is on me on the 16th of December.
Looks like a nice free breakfast. Question in from Les from Wired City. Thanks very much, Les. Appreciate the support. Wired City is a technical networking thing. I go along to Wired City quite a lot. Wired City is about active collaboration. Are you about helping businesses also get work? Is it that type of collaboration
Yes.
we're talking about? In what way?
I think it's part of a whole host of initiatives that we're looking at currently. My background is agency. I know how hard it is to get on that pitch list. I know how frustrating it is to see pitches going south. So it's trying to ultimately work with bodies who are controlling that element of, it could be creative brief, it might be the AR, RAR, there's so many of them out there, but I think that we will look to help and work with them to make sure that we get the best shot we possibly can.
And on a more macro level, if we can raise the profile of Manchester nationally, internationally as a creative hub, then we can grow the cake for everybody, and that's the idea. Let's grow it for everybody, and then everybody can benefit from it.
That sort of brings us back to something, how-do thing, which is about owning the client. Who owns the client? I think that sort of barrier has quite changed over time.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, because if we don't collaborate, if you've got a brief that you can't handle, I think we need to be quite grown up now. If you've got a brief and you haven't got that skill base in totality to answer that brief, but you kind of got a mate who does, well, let's work together and win it, as opposed to not work together and lose it. And that's as simple as that, really.
We have another question come in from Anna in Cheadle. If you want to get involved, you need just to Twitter us at @little_orchard, or as we're going along on Ustream, add your comments and we'll pick up those pieces and ask those questions as we go along. Anna says, a small creative business trying to get a bank loan but no joy. Can the MPA help with this, and this side of business, the finances side of business?
Absolutely. This is one of the issues that we raised for our sector, was that there is often a lack of commerciality that it's the owner managers have, and it's because you have practitioners who go in to run businesses, and therefore, quite understandably, they don't have the business skills. I think the MPA we understand access to finance. We can put them in front of professionals that can help. We're another strand of the strategy is us engaging professionals and saying, it's all very well seeing this as a growth sector, but what you've got to do is start investing, and you've got to start investing for the long term. And that message is getting out. I've had 5 or 6 meetings with different firms who are saying, okay, what do you want us to do?
And it's interesting also that you've got Pro Manchester on the directional board, which makes sense. They've got a lot of input in that stuff.
Absolutely, it's great, and they're so helpful to us. Rachel can't do enough to help me personally, so it's just it's been great.
John Ashcroft's a big believer in it. I think Michael Taylor Inside is a big believer in it.
Ben at How Do.
Yeah, all of the various media are behind this, and we can learn a lot from Pro Manchester. They're a nice model. That's kind of a model that we'd like to emulate, because they do some great work.
They do great work.
Okay. On the flip side, some of the stuff that I've sort of had feelings and feedback from is a slight distrust of what's going on here. What would you say to those naysayers who would like just nothing better than to give an old organisation a Christmas card and say, go to bed?
Yeah, I think where you have change, you always have some degree of ripples that occur, and this is the same. I think we have really tried to set the vision and sell the vision, and I would say 99% of the people that listen to us and have got the message are completely on board. And what we're trying to do is really work with the other 1% to make them understand that it's not that we're throwing out the old, it's about using the heritage to make it go forward, to make it sustainable, so that we can, as opposed to giving NABs £10,000 for 1 year, we can actually be giving them £30,000 for the next 20 years.
Okay. Another question coming from Chris Pollard at MV Media. Thank you very much, Chris. If you want to join in, it's Twitter @little_orchard or on the Ustream. Just join in, add your comments as we go along. Chris asks, are you planning to do a media agency / owner tour of the media bodies who've been part of the MPA, discuss the changes, and why are all the new initiatives aimed at creatives?
Go on,
I will let Cindy go, because that seems as though it's a planted question just because we've got a certain number of things going on.
I think that I think it's a great point that Chris makes. I think we are trying to do an awful lot in a very short space of time, and we had to very quickly engage with the new audience, as in the creatives and the digital, because I think if we'd set off in September and said, okay, let's just talk to who we've always talked to and not try to engage with a new audience, we wouldn't have over 1,000 members. Fact. You know, we are we're very welcoming of the support that we've had from the media owners, and we think that's a very important element to us. We are, for example, reintroducing the business lunches that we successfully ran in 2008 for the media people. Those will kick-start in March, for example. So we've got
a fantastic media workshop that takes place, which is the educational side.
Yeah.
But we've also, what I was referring to was we've just sorted out tours of the MEN and the new MEN facility,
Yes.
and we're going to be taking everybody over there, and there'll be some
Media
really interesting talks, and Media City, and we're going to be doing a huge amount of work with Media City and around the new BBC studios. So media owners and the media community can kind of rest assured that there are going to be huge amounts of activities that are aimed at them.
Okay, because there has been this sort of change within media ownership, hasn't there? You know,
Yes,
the traditional media ownership has, well, quite radically changed for MEN, with Salford City and Media City coming up from the BBC. That's a huge change.
It is.
You know, there's a lot going on there. Are there specific events we should be looking out for?
Well, I think looking out for the Media City talks would be amazing for us, you know, and I think that we are also having some active dialogue with the BBC, and you know, we would want to be engaging with them going forward, and if we can help in any way to help people have access to those areas, and that's what we'll try our best to do.
If people were looking for a specific type of joining event,
Yes.
and you haven't got it on, are you willing to sort of find ways of doing that?
Of course, absolutely. More ideas the merrier, because you know, this is a very small organisation with a very big job to do. I mean, Mike's obviously chairman, but Mike's got other businesses. I'm doing the role. It's based on volunteer help and support, you know, so if there's people out there who want to talk to me again about an event type or helping or volunteering, you know, we want to get things kicked off, like the, excuse the pun, the five-a-side football. You know, it was amazing apparently before, but we need somebody to kind of... You know, it's a terrible pun, isn't it? It just needs somebody to help me run it, you know. There's loads of things to do that I'm sure people, if they just contact me, if they want to kind of put the ring in a hat.
Get involved.
So again, for those people who did work with voting recently, what's your email?
It's Cindy@mpa.org.uk.
And the website is www.mpa.org.uk.
Okay, so we want some volunteers. It's a big call for volunteers. We do need people to kind of get involved and also have some fun with it, because there's such a lot of interesting things we can do. We've got loads of ideas, just getting it done really.
And you know, when you say fun things, you know, the classic MPA thing was the Christmas do that we've just been and gone.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
slightly got a debauched theme to it sometimes, as far as I can hear.
Yeah.
Which is great. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
We need to have some fun in life. We've got the Yangsing lunch coming up again in February, which is for the Chinese New Year. That'll be going on the website shortly. So
equally debauched.
Equally debauched. That's cool. We like having fun.
We're in a sexy industry. We're in a sexy sector. We should enjoy ourselves.
Life's
We've
hard.
got a great load of interesting people that work in our sector. So getting together, having a drink and doing that every now and again, that isn't going to be something we'll be getting rid of quickly.
Okay.
No.
Just got another question in. Thank you very much, Nikki. If you're hearing drilling outside, they are actually ripping the road up outside our thing. Thanks for the ice and all that sort of stuff. This is in from Paul in Winslow. Thank you very much, Paul. This is probably the last question. We're just running over time now. What is the MPA doing to connect Manchester media creators with London and other cities and new media buyers?
It's a great question, and it's one that is very much on our radar. I think, as with all great marketing campaigns, what you need to sort first is get the internal sorted, and we're getting the internal, the communications, things like this fabulous webcast. We need to get the message out there. We need to get everybody engaged first. But as with Pro Manchester, when they run the international and the national missions, we will be doing a lot more of that, and there's a real appetite to do that. So that will be second stage next year.
Okay, super. Now, running low on time. Sorry about this. We do only have so many time, and I know, Mike, you've got to get away to a meeting. Do I actually think about it? So we've spoken a lot about lots of different things the MPA are doing. What are the top 3 things people should look out for in the next 3 months to get involved with the MPA?
Okay, I think World Class Series and the Loops, that is going to be awesome in terms of the speakers we've got coming and lining up for that.
Do not miss that.
Do not miss it.
Nobody out there miss it.
It'll be great.
It's fantastic.
The other initiatives, I think, looking out for the lead programme, because we are looking for 25 people to be engaged in that lead programme, so that's going to be crucial.
And again, that's contact you.
Contact me if you're interested in being part of that programme. And I think just in terms of the social calendar, developing things like Media City Tours, MEN Tour, lots of new initiatives like that, and of course the infamous Yangsing lunch in February.
If you want a drink, get to the Yangsing in February.
Yeah, watch this space, but that's happening.
And the Loop events, are they free? Do you have to be a member? How do you find out about those? Well,
ideally, we try and keep it at either low cost or free. It'll very much depend on what we can negotiate in terms of the venue. It's only costs we're passing on, essentially, for those events. But depending on where the next venue is held and if we can get sponsors. So again, we're looking for sponsors. So
the last one, we had 2 world-class companies. They got a drink before and afterwards. It was in the beautiful corner house that we've got a great relationship with, and that was all free. So not bad value.
And look, great value. I love a free drink.
Exactly. So
well, thank you very much for coming in, guys. Really appreciate you taking all the questions.
Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you very much for tuning in.
Enjoyed it.
It's been really nice having you with us today. If you have any more questions, by all means, you can send those through and we'll pass those on to Cindy and Mike. The last date for your diary in this session of In Conversation With is 14th of December. It'll be back at the 3 p.m. slots, and we are going to have Rob Brown in from Stanyforth, and you can pose your questions in advance through icw@littleorchardprods.co.uk, or you can Twitter them at me at @little_orchard. So that's @little_orchard, and if you're on Facebook, it's Little Orchard. So thank you very much for tuning in, and until next time, take care.
Brilliant.